What's up? I'm Reploid Bill from ReploidProductions.com, and if you're anything like us, collecting movies, games, merchandise, whatever, after a while it gets to be a little overwhelming, especially with the abundance and the easy way that we can get a hold of this stuff now. It used to be a problem that you go to the video store, you pick out maybe one or two movies, it costs you around $50. Now with DVDs on the decline and Blu-rays getting ever so cheaper, at Walmart you can spend probably $50 and walk away with an entire series, maybe even complete the series in probably $60, $70, if not get 17 different movies. After a while this becomes a little bit of a problem, and this begins to pile up. There are multiple times that I can look over this entire shelf and not find a single thing that I actually want to spend my time watching. That's not that anything up here is necessarily bad, but sometimes you're in the mood for something and you're not 100% sure as to what it is, and having too much can actually get in the way. So if you're the kind of person who's having trouble just trying to decide what would be cool to watch tonight, I'm Reploid Bill from ReploidProductions.com, and I'm here with a recommendation for viewing.
It's a video recommendation for your viewing pleasure.
Right. So anyways, I'm going to break this shelf down piece by piece. I'm going to talk about good movies, bad movies, alright movies, groundbreaking movies, just maybe even some things that have themes to them, horror movies, genres, and whatever. So I feel like if we're going to start something, the most common thing that anybody watches in general is not necessarily movies, but TV. Everybody has a show, everybody has something that they waste their time with, something that they like, something they have to see every week. So if I was to go down this shelf right now and pick something that's fairly relevant, something that's complete, that you could actually start and finish, right here. So, Smallville. This is what I picked off the shelf to begin the recommendation for viewing. My idea here is to give you a series that is complete, that was well made, that you will enjoy watching from start to finish, and it's not that hard to get a hold of and or see on TV right now. Alright, I'm Reploid Bill, William Bush.
Lone Paladin, Nicholas Bennett.
Proto guy, Shane McCree.
We're from ReploidProductions.com, and we're going to tell you about Smallville. Would you like to start us here?
I'll leave the honors to you.
Okay. Smallville is one of those shows that tries to capture the Superman epic. The problem with the Superman epic normally is that you get a guy who looks somewhat like Superman, usually a little too skinny, almost nobody ever seems to fit the suit properly. And then there's the problem of the suit, the supervillains, the comic booky atmosphere. A lot of the times it doesn't work in a real life setting, and the shows end up being kind of cheesy and not so much over the top, but just hard to take serious. And even if the writing is good, it either doesn't last very long or it has a very specific type of following. Like the first Superman that I can think of was kind of more towards kids, really. Back, I want to say it was it 70s or 60s? I think it was 60s. And
The old black and white cartoon?
No, not the cartoon, the show.
Oh, God.
His cape
That
didn't
thing.
quite fit him
That
right,
might
it
have
hung
been
off
the
his
50s.
back. And regardless,
It's old as hell.
that didn't quite work. They moved forward. They did like a Superboy. It was really cheesy. They did a Superman show for a while. It didn't last barely any time at all. And then they did Lois and Clark. And Lois and Clark is another one of those ones where
It was a hit and miss.
well, they kind of tried to focus more on the character of Clark Kent and make him more of a real person so you could appreciate Superman a little more. But then there was still the problem that he was in the suit, that he looked tacky, that it was laughable most of the time. He was super skinny.
But regardless of all that, it went quite a few seasons.
It did, and I believe that it was drawing in female audiences. It was more of like a
love story. Yep.
And this finally took it into an aspect and said that they'll make the show about Clark Kent. The most important thing about Smallville to note is not that Superman is important, characters are important. They actually develop a story around a centralized couple characters that are very, very strong and well-written characters that you care about and you actually want to see what happens. You want to move forward. You want to know why this happens. How will this affect this? And each season has its own villains, its own chapters, its own new powers. Clark Kent is kind of coming into his own. Starting with the first season, it's kind of more like he doesn't really have anything. He can jump, but he can't jump single buildings or anything like that, a single bound or anything.
He did find out his strength, which was hilarious.
He's got the super speed because in the fucking first episode, he misses the school bus and he zooms through the cornfield.
Yes. Yes, he does have super speed. He has no eye lasers, anything like that. It's Clark. They take more the idea of the original comic book. He was super strong, super fast. He could jump, but he could not fly. And the idea behind the series, from what I understand, is called No Tights, No Flights. He never wears the suit, and he does not fly. There's a couple gimmicky areas where they kind of let him fly, but it never really feels forced. And you're kind of looking forward to the idea that he will become the thing that probably would have ruined the series. Because the comic books, they work well in the setting for a comic book. He has a suit, he changes from Clark Kent into Superman, he flies, he punches evildoers in the face. It's fun on paper. It looks really, really weird, kind of childish on film. And that's why a lot of the movies get hurt too, because once you put somebody in that suit, you can't necessarily take them very serious. I mean, it looks ridiculous.
If you had a guy show up at your store or wherever the hell you work in a suit like that, going, "Hey man, you know you should do this," you know what I'd be thinking? Who the fuck are you? Get the hell out of here! I mean,
the intro is done. The intro is from the first all the way to the last. They never changed the intro. It's a song by Remy Zero.
Save Me.
Is that it? Remy Zero?
Remy Zero is the person who sings the song. The song is called Save Me.
It's really catchy.
Yeah, quite a, yeah. But after 10 years, it
gets a little old, but even then,
that's another thing to
catchy.
mention, actually. This went 10 series. Each series encompasses one full year of his life. It starts him in school. He graduates. He tries a little bit of a college edge, but he never really goes to college.
And then he gets
It's kind of weird.
The Daily Planet.
Yeah, he goes into the Daily Planet. Sooner or later, he will become Superman. He builds the fortress. It's very well written, all except for one season, which you guys might have trouble with.
I can tell you those seasons, they're all going to have trouble with.
Season 4 came at a bad time. The Writers Guild of America had gone on strike. They kind of disbanded. And because of this, the writing in Season 4 is poopy. Like, it's not done well.
Well, Season 4 had its good points and its terrible points. First off, well, my opinion, one of the bad things is they introduced Lois Lane too soon. The 4th season takes place in a senior year of high school, and as far as I know, he didn't meet Lois Lane until he worked at the Daily Planet.
No, I believe he wasn't supposed to until he was at.
So he met her way too early. So that I didn't care, but them bringing Lois Lane in I thought was cool. And
Well, give him time to develop her character more, which made you actually want her around more when the later seasons show
Yeah,
up.
but her character seemed kind of forced. Like,
A little bit, yeah.
she wasn't in as many episodes as you may think. When they introduced her, she's in the first episode, of course. Then she's in like the next, like I want to say 5 or 6. Then she'll disappear for like 3 or 4 episodes, and then she'll come back. Like they didn't. It's not like the seasons that she's really in really start at 7 through 10. That's when she's there all the fucking time.
yes.
The first 6 seasons, it's because it's not Clark's love interest yet. He's still got the hard on for Lana, and that takes over half the goddamn series.
During that time, he's swinging back and forth also between another character.
Yes.
He doesn't realize necessarily that he's loving her.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming you're meaning Chloe?
No.
Yes.
Whoa.
Yes. He has slight draws to Chloe throughout the series, but they never become serious. Okay.
She's a good partner. Well, and ironically enough, spoiler alert. Well, we've already spoiled it.
I probably should have said that first.
Hey guys, warning, spoiler alert.
It does take Chloe until the end of the 4th season to even realize what Clark is. When she watches him catch a car like a beach ball. That's dink.
Let's try to cut down. Let's try to cut down on a major point of the spoilers, because in terms of this series, what you don't know is what's going to keep you hooked. Every single season brings a power, an ability, or manifests the power further, or allows him to do more things and puts him in more dangerous situations. The start, it kind of has weak bad guys. Like,
his first bad guy is a guy who doesn't age. If you remember that guy.
Oh, that guy.
Who was put on the fucking scarecrow thing out in the fucking cornfield.
Okay.
When the meteor shower hit, he never aged. He wanted revenge on the jocks, who, even though the jocks of his time are no longer in the school, he still wants revenge on all jocks for what they did to him.
That poor bastard.
well, there's like a lady that controls bees. There's a person that can become water.
A person who starts fire with his temper.
There's a shapeshifter. It's all neat, but
they're
they're not real supervillains yet. The one main supervillain that comes in from the very start and is very, very well portrayed, is the man that plays Lex Luthor. Now, you may recognize the man that plays Lex Luthor.
Michael.
Give me a second here.
This is the best
This guy
part.
right here.
This is the best part.
The man that portrays Lex Luthor. I first had my experience with him when he was wearing dresses in sorority boys. Sorority girls. That was my first experience with this actor.
Best movie ever now.
When I seen him in Smallville, I immediately laughed because I couldn't help but think of Lex being like wearing a dress and be like, "I'm in your head now. I'm in your head now." So,
And the best part is, when I started watching this, I had not watched that movie.
Yeah, I didn't know. I
came over to hang out one day, and your dumbass is like, "So what you been up to, guys?" Like, "I've been watching Smallville. You know, season 10's finale's coming up. I'm actually watching it finally. You know, me and my ultra hatred of Superman and his inability to fight a rock." And he's like, "Oh, it's like so you've been watching that?" I was like, "Yeah, Lex Luthor's actually pretty cool in this." He's like, "Oh, really? We're gonna watch us a movie that has that guy in it." I'm like, "Oh God, I don't want to do this." So we sat down and watched that.
they have a
And the
dildo
entire
fight.
season finale, anytime I saw Lex, it just flashed over with an image of him in a dress. And I was just like,
Now, see, I have not watched that movie, nor will I ever watch that movie. I'm going to remember him in this.
Oh, I still remember him in this.
He was.
And then I
very
further
well
remember
done.
him in a dress.
My issue with Lex is the same issue I have with Fox Mulder from the X-Files, at some point during the series, he will be taken out.
We're not telling you
when. It takes a while for him to come back. And the series is not bad at this point. Don't misunderstand this. But being that he was one of my favorite portrayals of the entire series, it was difficult for him not to be there. Like, I felt like an element of the entire show was missing. I also like how Lex will begin as a normal, everyday person. He's a good person. He's actually looking to help, looking to
correct the mistakes of his father.
Yes.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, he's not a bad guy. It's circumstances in his life throughout the series that will drive him towards the madness that creates a supervillain. Main key characters that we have to talk about. Okay, let's go straight to, we've done kind of a discussion. Now we're going to have to start rating the series. So, right off the bat, the very first thing you notice about a series is the way it looks.
The way it looked? Oh, it was actually really good. I liked the whole development of it. The production value is really good.
Special effects, I have to say, for this TV show, were not bad.
No,
not bad at all. There was a few points that were like
there
cheesy
were
as hell.
few that
Especially when you see him run at super speed, that's fun. But when they get the close up of him running,
yeah, he's just
that's kind of lame. It's kind of cheesy.
real
fast.
It was like you're not moving
first.
But regardless,
They got better at that, though.
Oh,
They
yeah.
figured out that the camera angle was funky and they changed it.
well, the thing is, this came out what, early?
2001
Yeah, this came out 2001 and lasted all the way
to
last
2011.
year.
Yeah, it was 2011 when they finally finished
So in 2001, their special effects budget probably wasn't that great.
They were taking a shot with
So
this.
they were trying to be innovative with a lot of stuff that they had, and yeah, it looked pretty bad in some instances, and then it started getting better. But
So,
as series go on, they're supposed to do that.
so in terms of production value, though, you also got to talk about the way it looks. Do the characters look the part? Is he Superman?
I would say he's Clark Kent, which is what he's supposed to be.
If you want to, well,
He's not Superman yet. He's Clark Kent.
But throughout the course of the series, they
Does
have
he start
developed
looking
him
like
to
he's
be
evolving?
Superman.
Yes, he
Right.
does look like he's evolving into what will
You
become
think,
Superman.
you think that in this new Man of Steel movie, had they chosen him as the actor,
He could have pulled it
you
off.
think it would look right?
He would have
after
pulled it
10
off.
years of playing the character,
Not playing the character, does he look it?
if you want to
If
look,
you put him on the cover of a comic book, does it look right?
Yeah,
You think so?
I believe so. I mean,
more
he's not a
believable
scrawny
than the guy they chose now.
I think that he looks very much like the Superman character. I think they chose well in the man.
They were looking
chose
for
to play
somebody
this.
who kind of resembled Christopher Reeves. And we all know that he did the best Superman movies, or at least two of them.
Well, no, I can't say best Superman movies. Yes, I mean I can, but best portrayal of Superman ever.
He had it
is
down to the
still-
T.
He looked the part. Was a big guy, was tall, the blue eyes, like he was naturally Superman looking.
And then when he played
Which
Clark Kent, the bumbling moron,
He pulled that off
pulled
pretty
that
good,
off
too.
awesome.
Yes. Now, I'm not trying to fall back into Christopher Reeves, but he's in the series.
He
So anybody that enjoys
Cameos,
Cameos,
of people
that's-
who have portrayed before.
Anybody
every
who's ever been here.
Superman, every Superman, people that have been in Superman shows, the old Lois's,
From Lois and Clark, she would, or no.
everybody that's alive
The old
that
Lois
could
from the
show
movie,
up
my bad.
does show up that I can think of. In terms of portraying Lois and portraying Clark and things like that, they all are in it. In fact, I want to say the guy from Lois and Clark, what's his name? Anybody know his name?
Hell if I remember.
Dean Cain. Dean Cain,
Cain?
right? Dean Cain.
Kane? Okay. He's in it. He actually plays the bad guy.
Mhm.
Christopher Reeve is a scientist in the series. That's pretty sweet. And
I don't know the woman's name.
The
who
old
played
Lois
original
was,
Lois is the scientist's
assistant.
assistant.
Mhm.
And the mother of Lois Lane is Lois from Lois and Clark. There's a lot of cameos, and they're well done cameos. They don't really feel gimmicky. They don't feel like they were just shoved in there. They're very well placed. And you kind
And
of
it
look
gives them a
forward
chance to
seeing
come back. Just
Yes.
In a
But
sense,
actually-
I think the fact that they agreed to do that is they actually were supporting the series because it was that well done.
The mother of Clark Kent is Lana Lang from the Christopher Reeve movie.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
Yeah.
She plays in the fourth movie, or is it the third?
Oh, that's probably why I didn't see it.
I think it's the third movie. In the third Christopher Reeve movie, Lana Lang appears, and she's the same woman that plays his mother in this. So what I mean about cameos is they're well placed, and her stipulation for coming in to do the series was that Lana Lang had a big role, or she wouldn't sign to it. That's what I understand anyway. And
Trust me, she had
No,
a big
she had a
role.
big
Lana
role,
Lang had a
and
pretty big role. So
I wanted to beat that bitch with a baseball bat.
She's fucking hot.
I'd say she got what she wanted out of it.
I beat her like
I really hated that
You
character.
see Lex's dad. Lex's dad is
Lex's
alive.
dad is fucking awesome.
He's a really, really, really sweet character. He's one of those things that
Not sweet as in nice. I mean, this guy's badass.
like the epitome of evil.
the series wouldn't have
He
been.
really is.
The series only would have been half of what it was had Lionel not been in it. Like, Lionel is a very, very well designed character. Lex, very well portrayed. In fact, the best portrayed Lex Luthor I've ever seen.
I agree.
The thing is, without
Hands down,
Lionel,
I agree.
the thing is, without Lionel in the series, Lex wouldn't have been able to turn into what he was as easily. Because they've
It's a
actually
part of
seen
it.
the father-son battle,
It's a
which
big
started
part of it.
converting him to more of an evil guy.
Yes.
The next character to talk about, his friend circle. He starts out with a kid named Pete. I don't know if that's from the comic books. I don't recognize Pete.
From what I'm told, the characters Pete and Chloe were added into Smallville.
Yes, I never remember reading anything about these two people. But Pete is the best friend. He plays it well. Somewhere down the line, he'll leave the series.
He'll come back like
For like an
one or two
episode.
episode and then be
Yeah.
gone again.
I'm not sure if they couldn't keep him on contract or what happened.
But they just didn't have much use for his character.
Yeah, but
That's
he
probably
he
more
leaves
along
the
the
show.
lines.
So I have to say that probably he's not the best character in the series.
He
by
starts
far.
off as the best friend, but then it's just they've written him out.
Chloe is one of the characters that started and finished the series and was very well developed and had a lot of twists and turns in her storyline and stayed helpful and present the entire legacy.
I loved Chloe's character actually.
She was
That's part of the reason why I kept watching. It was Lex, Clark's dad when he was still there, Lionel definitely.
There were.
Yeah.
She was the best partner
She was
because there were times when Clark was in a jam and
and
she had to help out.
she would just figure the shit out real fast and bam, there we go.
The
Same
father is very well presented. Very well presented. He feels like a father figure that you could look up to. He's very interesting. He's strong-willed. He's like the all-American boy type of thing. He's got a farm. He's working hard. He's trying to support his family. Life is tough.
He
but
helps
you don't-
people out whenever he gets a chance.
You don't bitch about it. You muscle through it. And he teaches very, very strict values to his son. Sometimes he has to enforce them. That's got to be a pain in the ass when your son. What are you supposed to do?
Wait.
Spank him?
You break your hand on that.
Don't make me get the belt
No,
on,
he did
it'll bounce off!
good, Jonathan Kent.
Yes.
Really did.
The mother was well done.
Yeah,
she's believable.
No.
There are other characters that come in later. I'm not trying to spoil too much, so without mentioning a lot of the other characters, you will see the Justice League, you'll see the Justice Society. They'll flash all different kinds of characters, everything from Metallo to I'm trying to think, some villains, some good guys.
Hawkman was in there.
Hawkman is in it, yeah. I said Justice Society though.
Yeah.
So. You'll
Doomsday
see
will be in there.
Parasite's in it.
God, who else?
Bizarro.
Yeah, I was about to say
Bizarro does
Bizarro
make
was
an appearance.
hilarious.
Brainiac.
Yes. So, and
There was a lot of
everybody,
good stuff.
everybody that comes in feels right. Oliver Queen is going to be a big key element when they bring him in. If anybody doesn't know Oliver Queen, the Green Arrow story,
You're gonna like him actually.
He's pretty cool.
Only issue with the presentation of this series. I'm like, damn it! Where's Bruce Wayne?
Oh, wait, Bruce Wayne?
Yes.
I think what time this is for...
No, I don't, because Bruce and him are the same fucking age.
Yeah. What was Bruce doing?
Being Batman.
Yeah. He was
was
going
out-
off training
No,
and
he
being
wasn't.
Batman.
No, he wasn't, because we've already debated this before. He learns. He look, at a normal person's rate to master 125 martial arts would take more than one lifetime. He already knew over 125 fully trained master martial arts before he ever put the mask on.
He was off doing that then.
He learns at such an exceptional rate that he was probably in the suit no earlier than his 20s. Like, maybe even around, like, 21 years old. Probably like
He was Batman for a long time.
yeah, like, from what I understand, before he became Superman, there was already Batman. He was just an urban legend. Batman is the first superhero in the DC universe. In terms of, like, he was out there doing, but they didn't know he was out there.
It was that
myth.
Yeah, he was a myth. Where this, he was
You're
becoming
late
a
night.
myth.
Batman's gonna get you.
My issue with it is that Bruce Wayne never made an appearance. They don't even so much as mention his existence.
It's
and you
probably
see,
they didn't want to
but you
overshadow
see Lex. You
the
see Lex.
series.
No, because other characters came in that could have had their own series. In fact, Oliver Queen has his own series now called Arrow.
How the hell did I not know this?
So,
What do you think? What do you think they were going to do after the successful run of Smallville?
Do one for Batman?
I brought that up. I really did, but we don't really want to get into that because it's a long discussion.
yes, that's my biggest issue is Batman wasn't in it. I have to give it sounds petty, but I have to give it a 9 because they didn't even mention Bruce Wayne.
But they
he wasn't
did.
even in a business transaction.
But-
all they did was say, oh, we got to go to Gotham City.
They did mention Gotham. That's about it.
But nothing happens. So who cares? That's my only issue. In presentation, I have to give it a 9. Batman was nowhere. He wasn't even mentioned. Bruce Wayne doesn't even exist in this universe, it seems. And that is they
Or-
had 10 fucking years.
Or perhaps he was too busy being Batman.
They had 10 years to at least
Too
mention
busy
him.
doing Batman.
No. I'm not going to let them get away with that. With all the obscurities that they put in, the fucking Wonder Twins are in this series, okay? Wonder Twin powers activate! And I can't at least get Bruce Wayne's fucking name to drop?
I don't remember that episode.
That's fucking dog shit. Bruce Wayne should have at least been mentioned in a business transaction. He should have, like, bought something Lex was trying to get, and Lex could have been like, damn him! Like something. Like, they did nothing with the character. Like, he doesn't even exist in Smallville. That, I did have a big issue with that.
I had a problem with that too. But presentation-wise, I have to give it the same. 9.
I'm gonna give it a 9 because they kept trying to oversell Lana, and by the end I really fucking hated her with a burning goddamn passion.
Doesn't change the fact that she's hot.
To you, I'm not my
Shit
type.
out of her. Yes, damn straight I would.
Well, I'm not gonna spoil it. I'm not gonna spoil it. You guys watch the series.
Yeah.
It's a great series. I mean, the thing
Presentation-
lasted 10 freaking years.
Presentation is a 9. So, that's out of the way.
How about story?
The next thing, story arc. I have no issue here at all. I'm giving it a solid 10. From start to finish, I was interested in the whole, as a whole, from one side of the story to the end, it all fits very nicely, and it feels finished at the end. I'm not still asking questions from the first episodes. Like, they cover their bases very well. Characters are actually affected from one story to the next, and develop and become different people along a mass journey. So I have to give the story a 10 easily.
I'm going with a 9. Because I didn't
Wow,
watch
the
season
guy
4.
with a hard on.
Yes,
for
because
the
I
series.
had a hard on.
10 years.
I did watch this series, and I thought it was great. But you know, season 4 was a letdown.
It was a letdown, but they still do certain things.
There are certain
the football aspect.
There are certain storylines in season 4 that are good, and then there are ones that are just terrible.
Well, there are terrible ones in season 9.
Yeah, but season 9 I was more interested in than season 4. Watch the first 3 seasons.
It was bad.
Then go to 4, and then you'd be like,
don't skip 4 though. 4 was my stopping point. When I was first watching it, I bought the first 3 seasons, watched it, bought 4, got halfway through it, stopped watching it. It took almost a year before I finally noticed it sitting on my shelf and was like, let's finish that. And I put it in, I muscled through it, and then I bought the rest of the seasons, and I have no complaints.
Hey, you learned lessons from Jonathan Kent.
4 was
muscle through that bad season.
That's why I gave it a 9.
I'll agree with your 9. That's okay.
Honestly, I'm going to give it a 10, and I'm the guy who hates Superman the most out of our entire group.
You have no idea.
I
hate
really
Superman
hate
until
Superman.
I watched this Saturday.
That same thing. It's like, I'd always hated this guy, because we always cracked the joke of, well, Superman's greatest enemy is a rock. We throw rocks. So we could beat Superman.
I'll say that.
This show actually has more than just, oh no, kryptonite, my only weakness. Ah!
We're going to see a
He's
lot
got
of
people that will actually whoop his ass.
Yeah, that's because they were still developing him. Like, I'm pretty sure that if they would have went to season 11, it would have been pretty tough to push limitations.
After who he fights near the end, don't think you're going to push the limitations.
But regardless.
But no, I'm going to give it a 10. I think this is a perfect way to actually have a superhero on a television series. As a matter of fact, I think this is probably the best television series we have for a superhero.
All right. That's 2. Let's find a 3rd grading scale.
Let's see. We got
presentation and story. Yeah, I've got nothing.
He's got nothing.
I've got nothing!
Characters.
That'd be part of presentation and story.
Well, I don't know. I can put. How about acting?
That would also be part of presentation.
I'm drawing a blank. Just throw down whatever. I don't care.
Okay.
I can't think of anything.
Availability is what I'm going to grade this on right now.
That would actually be better.
We've already covered the bases. This gets somewhere around a 9.5 right now, or somewhere in there. Availability is like this. All of it's on standard, all of it's on Blu-ray.
So take your pick.
You can find Blu-ray for about $30, but if you go into Best Buy, you're paying about $50 a season. My advice to you is if you can deal with not having this.
I know exactly what you're thinking. I think
this is not bad. It's not bad.
It looks
in
good.
any way whatsoever.
It looks good for standard.
Yes, the presentation is so crystal clear that if you play it on your PS3 or something like that with the littlest upscale, you're going to think you're watching Blu-ray anyway. It's very well presented. Everything was taped. You can tell it might have been taped from the start to be a high-def thing because the quality of it is top-notch. I have all the way up to here in standard before I finally went to the store one day and they had the Blu-rays on sale and I finished out the series. I don't see way too much difference jumping into Blu-ray. So, just to let you know, you could get the whole thing on standard and be fine. Standard is still going to run you anywhere from $30 to $40 a season.
Or,
my advice to you, there is a box set. It costs about $240. Before you trip out,
that's
10
do the math.
Seasons. 10 seasons here at about $40 to $50 a piece.
It's about $400, $500.
Well, it's worth it. I would say that. I mean, not only.
I'm asking you, what did you pay? You finished it, right? You finished off the series. How much money do you think you dropped?
Since I went up to season 9 on standard, and I bought season 10 on Blu-ray.
But when you were buying,
I bought half of mine at Walmart, half of them at Best Buy.
So about 30, 40, and about 40.
30. Well, technically not. Season 1 I stole from Kevin. Season 2.
Kevin, if you're watching this, now you know where it went.
Now you know where it is.
You can come and kick his ass
Wow.
if your girlfriend lets you.
Wow.
So season 1 for me was free.
But, so apparently, find season 1 and steal it from one of your friends.
But regardless,
Not
I spent
really.
about $30 until I got to season 9.
So $30 a season.
Season
Walmart,
9.
Walmart was selling them at like 39 something. 30
So $40 for season 9.
So about 30 to
40,
40.
40, 40, 40, 40, 40, 40.
Well, that's 8 seasons at $40, so that's $360 right there.
Easily.
That's $360 without tax.
This was
45, 50. Because
So
I got it when it just
so-
right when it came
so-
out.
because-
so he got a deal on it.
So because this one for him was free.
Don't count me out on that whole stuff.
Because that was free. You actually purchased from here all the way to here
Yep.
in standard. So
Yep.
we're gonna go with what? Did
30.
we say 30 or 40?
It's 30 when I bought them.
No, if you were buying them early,
If
from
you're
Walmart,
buying
they
them,
were
they were $40.
They were 39 to 34.
So
Like 34 to 39, somewhere in there.
So we're just gonna round up $40 for 8 seasons. So that's $360 plus the 50 from the Blu-ray at Best Buy. You're looking at $390 right there, and then after taxes, you're looking at about 410, 420 probably.
That's your series.
Because
my
this
drop was
one
a
doesn't
little
count.
different. My drop was $15 a piece for the first 3 on sale at Walmart. It's the only reason I finally decided to try the series out. I said, $15 a season? I'll do that. I bought these 3. Then this was 40, 40, 40. And then I got lucky and I found the Blu-rays at $34. I bought all 4 of the rest of the things and finished out the series. That's what it ran me. Regardless, both of us spent more than a $240 box set.
And then the box set is like about this long. And it also comes with bonus stuff. It doesn't just come.
So
It's
it's
2
even got like a
books.
couple bonus DVDs and stuff.
It comes with 2 books. The first book opens into it's like a.
It's like my James Bond collection.
Yeah, it's a lot like the James Bond collection. It's a book, and each page has the different discs in it. The next book is a whole art book and signed papers, and I think you get an issue of the Daily Bugle with it.
Planet.
Yeah, Daily Bugle.
This is
Spider-Man
Spider-Man.
swinging and shit. But
Superman's falling down off a building because he got hit by a kryptonite bullet. Oh, I'm gonna die!
Everyone gets one.
Everyone gets one. Who the hell is that guy? I don't know, but he's cool.
this has been ReploidProductions.com, and this is our recommendation for viewing. I'm going to say that this is a 9.5 series. If you're looking to spend a lot of time,
And we mean a lot of time. This
watching
is 10
something.
seasons.
this is worth your money. I advise the box set. If you can't get it, I still advise buying this season by season. And if you're cheap, this is not a Netflix series. I'm sorry. Your $14 needs to go elsewhere, like to buying seasons of Smallville. Because I'm telling you, you can't get this. This is not a Netflix thing, and you're really missing out. Buy the DVDs. It's well worth your money. Seriously.
If you're one of those people that are real big on like internet shopping, you can probably find decent deals on like eBay for it. You could probably find it on Amazon real easy. I mean, check the sites out.
You
If
didn't like
don't want to
Superman.
go out to the store and try and hunt down the stuff.
This guy didn't like Superman. Now he wears Superman shirts. This guy didn't like Superman. Now he wears a Superman shirt.
I don't wear a
I've
Superman
always
shirt.
liked. Yes, you will.
I still wouldn't.
You still will.
I wear Superman underwear.
I will say I like
on
this
the
show.
outside of his pants.
That's right.
All right, underpants boy. Anyways, no, I will say I do like the series. I would have no problem with that. This was done well for Superman. I actually hold this up on par with my enjoyment of the 2 Christopher Reeve movies. Superman can still suck a dick as far as I'm concerned.
This is worth your money, I'm telling you. Even people that didn't like Superman were watching this. And for all the guys out there that want to watch some Superman, that want to see some fists and everything like that.
Or some hot bitches. There's hot bitches in this show.
There is, but I watched this with my girlfriend. Okay? So this is worth your time and your money.
This is entertainment for couples even. Because they got that cheesy, love stuff, and then they got the beat people stuff.
So I'm going to give it
it's
a
a perfect
9.5, and I'm gonna be done with this. Anybody?
Sadly, I watched this series by myself.
True.
That's because you're lame.
This has been ReploidProductions.com with a recommendation for viewing.
I'm talking about a video